She gave everything. Not once, not twice, but every single day in ways nobody thought to name. She gave her mornings before anyone else was awake. She gave her patience when she had none left. She gave her forgiveness to people who never asked for it. She gave the softest parts of herself to hands that never learned to hold gently. And she did it quietly, without asking for anything in return. Because somewhere along the way, she had learned that love looked like sacrifice. That being needed was the same as being cherished. That if she just gave a little more, one more year, one more chance, one more version of herself, someone would finally turn around and see her. Nobody noticed she was disappearing. If any part of that just touched something in you, stay. Watch this to the end. This one is for you. Not at the dinner table, where she was the last to sit and the first to rise. Not in the evenings, when she folded the laundry alone while laughter came from the other room. Laughter she had made space for. Laughter she had cooked for and cleaned for and quietly held together, but was never quite invited into. Not in the small hours of the night, when she sat in a dark kitchen with a cold cup of coffee and the particular stillness of a woman who has stopped expecting anyone to come and check on her. She sent a message once, then waited. Hours passed. The word delivered sat beneath it like a small, quiet cruelty. She put the phone face down and stared at the ceiling. In the mirror, she barely recognized herself. Not because she had aged, though she had, but because the woman looking back had spent so long adjusting, shrinking, softening, accommodating, that she had slowly edited herself out of her own life. She stood there and searched her own eyes for something familiar. It took longer than it should have. She drove alone at night, sometimes. Not going anywhere, just driving. The street lights moved across her face like slow confessions, and the tears came not in sobs but in silence. The kind of crying that has been practiced so long it no longer makes a sound. And then one day, something shifted. It wasn't loud. There was no breaking point, no dramatic moment, no single conversation that changed everything. It was quieter than that. It was a Tuesday morning. It was standing at the window with her forehead against the cold glass, watching the world outside move without her, and realizing, with a strange and terrible clarity, that nobody had asked if she was okay. Not in months. Maybe longer. Not really. Not in the way that means I want to know. I am here. You matter beyond what you provide. They noticed when the dinner wasn't made. They noticed when she didn't answer. They noticed when she stopped. But her exhaustion, her hunger, the slow erosion of her, that they had never once looked for. She had been starving for years, and nobody at the table had noticed, because she had never once let her plate look empty. If this is your story too, even a part of it, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and follow for more of this. You should not have to carry this alone. She turned her wedding ring slowly in the lamplight, not to remove it, just to feel the weight of it honestly, maybe for the first time. She lay on her edge of the bed, always her edge, always careful not to take up too much space, and stared at the ceiling and let herself think the thought she had been too loyal, too tired, too afraid to think. Was this love? Had it ever been? Or had she simply been useful? Was she loved, or was she needed? And had she spent all these years confusing the two? The answer came not as a revelation, but as a recognition. Quiet, undeniable, like remembering something she had always known. She was never asking for too much. She was asking the wrong people. The morning she finally stopped waiting, stopped shrinking, stopped offering herself as a solution to other people's lives, the sun came up anyway, soft and gold and indifferent in the most beautiful way. She stood in it. She let it touch her face. She walked slowly, with nowhere to be, and felt the strange, unfamiliar weight of her own life belonging to her. There were still tears. There would be for a long time. But underneath them, something she hadn't felt in years, something that felt carefully, tentatively like herself. Some women don't leave because they stopped loving others. They leave because nobody remembered to love them. If this story found you, it wasn't by accident. Save this. Come back to it on the days you forget your own worth. And if you know a woman who has been quietly disappearing, share this with her today. She needs to know she is not alone. Follow for more stories like this one.